Pointless Things in Roblox at 3 a.m. Episode 8. So, I was playing Build-A-Boat in a VIP server, and if you don't know what Build-A-Boat is, just check out this previous video. It covers the description of the game far more in depth. So, I was playing it with some of my friends, and we were bored, as you can tell in the video, and I have the idea, hey, let's do a build battle. So I messaged them politely on Discord. Dad, let's lay out some of the basic rules for build battle. The rules are as follow. We all go to different plots and no looking at each other's builds. We would judge each other's builds fairly on how it looks, regardless of points. We had a time limit of 10 minutes per round. Each build would be looked at and each person would rate it out of 10. After the round ended, the scores will be added for each person and would be their total score for that round. The game, we would add up every total score from every round, and that will be their total overall score for the game. The person with the highest score wins. Contenders were Minecraft is Better 400, which is me. I will be referring to myself as mine. Splashy60603, Splash. Whitelisted player, White. And Jart Gamer 21, Jart. We got all that out of the way. I let my friend Splash decide the first build, and she chose bed. So our theme was bed. Here's some time lapse of me building a bed. No, it was not the greatest bed. In fact, it looked absolutely terrible. But yeah. So using this machine, I would drive around and I would pick up everybody, and then we would go to one plot and rate it one at a time. So this was the first bed. This was Jar's bed. And I thought it was pretty good. It was simple and neat and to the point. So the scores for this round was Splash with 7 out of 10, me with 7 out of 10 for him, and White with 7 out of 10 for him, giving him a total score of 21. Next up was White, and White build was also simple like Jared's. It was simple and to the point. So the total scores for this round was Jared with 7 out of 10, me giving him a 7 out of 10, and Splash giving him a 6 out of 10, giving him a total score of 20 points for that round. So now it was time to review my bed, and oh my god, it was bad. And so the total scores for my bed was Splash giving me a 6 out of 10, Jared giving me a 5 out of 10, and White giving me a 10 out of 10, and ended up giving me a score of 21. The last one was Splash, and to me, honestly, in my opinion, this one was probably the best. It was neat and simple and to the point, and so I ended up giving her a 9 out of 10. Jar gave her an 8 out of 10, and White gave her a 5 out of 10, giving her a total score of 23. So round 2 began, and I let my friend White pick the theme for this round, and he picked pencil. So we had to go build a pencil. Here's some more time lapse of me building my pencil. after 1 minute, the timer was up, and we went to go review each other's builds. So we looked at was Jared's, and honestly, it wasn't too bad, but it just felt a little bit uneven at the end of it. So my score for him was 5 out of 10. Um, White gave him a 6 out of 10, and Splash gave him a 6 out of 10. And his overall score ended up being 17 for that round. Quick transition. Alright, next one is White. And, White actually looked pretty good on his. Not gonna lie. So, I gave him a 7 out of 10. Splash gave him a 5 out of 10. And Jarek gave him a 10 out of 10. Resulting in his score being 22 points. Alright, now this is my pencil. And, wasn't too bad. I could have made the eraser or the pencil itself longer, but it was alright. So the total scores for my pencil, Splash gave it a 10 out of 10, White gave it a 7 out of 10, and Jar gave it a 6 out of 10. And my score ended up being 23 points. No pencil we were going to look at was Splash. And, it wasn't finished, but I could see what she was going for. It was good. So I gave her a 6 out of 10, Jar gave her a 7 out of 10, and White gave her a 5 out of 10. And her score ended up being 19. So this was round 3, the final round. And I let my friend Jari pick the theme, and he picked Rocket. So we extended it to 15 minutes because we didn't know if we needed more time, how complicated this would be, and yeah. And I decided I would model my rocket off a SpaceX rocket. So that was the design I was going for. We also said extra points if you can make your rocket work. So here's another time lapse. Gonna add the SpaceX logo, but I ran out of time. So, let's go get judging. So the first rocket we looked at was Jar's, and it looks more like a lander. It does not look like a rocket, and no offense to him at all, but I can't really see how this will work. And he said he flies, but I don't know if you count flying around in different directions out of control counts as flying. So his total score was Splash gave him a 7 out of 10, White gave him a 4 out of 10, and I gave him a 3 out of 10. and his final score was 14 for this round. Was White's rocket. White's rocket actually was pretty good, not gonna lie. And it seems like a lot of us agreed too. And his final score ended up being Splash giving him a 7 out of 10. I gave him a 7 out of 10. And Jar gave him a 6 out of 10. And his final score for round 3 was 20. I don't know if you would count this as flying, using a giant balloon to lift you up. So it was time for my rocket to be judged, and they didn't actually know what my rocket was based off, so I showed them a picture of the SpaceX rocket, and they said it looked really similar. And so my final score ended up being Splash giving me 9 out of 10, White giving me 9 out of 10, and Jar giving me 10 out of 10, and resulted in my final score being 28. Splash launched her build early because she didn't want any of us to review it because she hated it. And so if you look to the right here in this picture, you will be able to see what her boat looked like before she launched it. We had to review her build because we had to be fair to everyone. So, um, I ended up giving her a 2 out of 10, Dora gave her a 1 out of 10, and White gave her a 9 out of 10. And her final score for this round ended up being 12. So these are the final scores. Jari coming in fourth place with 52 points. Splash coming in third place with 54 points. White coming in second place with 62 points. And yours truly, me, coming in first place with 72 points. Honestly, this was really fun. I enjoyed doing this. And I will hope to do more challenges with them in the future. Alright. Well, I'm gonna go to bed now. I am so tired.